It is 2 a.m. A man sits alone in front of his laptop screen, the cold blue light reflecting onto his exhausted face. He has just read that AI is replacing office workers. Companies are starting to demand AI experience, and a brand new tool has just appeared that can do his entire job in a matter of minutes. Scrolling down a little further, he sees a teenager making a fortune using AI, a video shouting that if you don't learn tech right now, you will be left behind, and another post stating that in the future, AI will do most of human labor. And in that exact moment, he no longer feels like he is looking at technology. He feels like he is staring into a future where he himself is slowly becoming unnecessary. There is a new kind of fear quietly spreading across the modern world. It is not war, it is not poverty, and it isn't even failure. It is the lingering feeling that the world is changing too fast, so fast that humans can no longer keep up with their own lives. And perhaps the most terrifying paradox of this era is that while humans evolve very slowly, the things they create are evolving faster than humanity itself. Biologically, humans are almost identical to how they were thousands of years ago. We still carry the exact same nervous system, the same emotions, and the same primal fears. The human brain was never designed for infinite information, endless social media feeds, exponentially developing AI, and the constant pressure to optimize oneself every single day. Instead, it was built to live in small communities, stable environments, and a slow pace of change. But today, the moment a person wakes up, they immediately see someone else who is more successful, technology emerging at lightning speed, and thousands of people running ahead of them. The human nervous system has never had to process this amount of pressure. That is exactly why so many people nowadays always feel completely exhausted, even when they haven't done anything heavy, struggle to focus, experience constant anxiety, and carry a persistent feeling that they are falling behind. It is simply because a prehistoric brain is trying to survive in a hyper-technological world. While humans inherently need sleep, rest, healing, and time to grow, AI needs none of those things. It learns and updates continuously, processing massive volumes of data in a few seconds. And that is only the beginning, because what is truly terrifying is that AI is beginning to change how humans view their own value. In the past, companies hired people simply to do work. Today, that baseline has vanished. Society now demands people who know how to accelerate that work using AI. A designer, an editor, or a coder utilizing automation can now generate a massive volume of output in a short fraction of time. This reality is forcing the entire psychology of society to shift. Humans are no longer just competing with each other, they are competing with speed, algorithms, and automated workflows. And the fear is starting to appear everywhere. A student watches AI write an entire essay in a few seconds and asks themselves what they are even studying for. An office worker watches a program handle tasks faster than they ever could and starts fearing the loss of their position. An artist looks at AI-generated artwork created from a few lines of text and feels as though the very soul of their creativity is being copied. Even an elderly person opens their phone and realizes they no longer understand what the world is saying. This is the moment the crisis stops being about technology and becomes a crisis of human value. Because so many people have unconsciously tied their self-worth to productivity, usefulness, and the ability to produce results. When machines do it better, a painful question appears. If AI does it better than me, then what am I even here for? For perhaps the first time in history, humans are starting to fear their own intelligence. This crisis is deeply fueled by one of the most dangerous illusions of the AI era, the feeling that anyone can become an expert overnight. With just a few prompts, anyone can generate content, code, or build entire business plans. But there is a massive difference between creating something that looks professional and truly having competence. For example, you can ask AI to write a complete video script, and it will generate a beautiful structure with highly persuasive words. But in reality, AI doesn't truly understand your audience. It doesn't understand the loneliness of a viewer at 1 a.m., the exact experiences that make a human being cry, or the profound depth of a real life. It merely predicts what seems right based on data. This means that while AI is incredibly powerful at accelerating things, it is fundamentally incapable of creating something that truly has a soul. And this is where many people are starting to fall into a dangerous trap. They imagine they are developing, but in reality, they are only becoming increasingly dependent. If we ask AI for everything, rely on it to think, let it decide, and trust it to solve every problem, then what will eventually happen to the human brain? The brain is just like a muscle. If you don't use it, it weakens over time. The most terrifying thing is not that AI will replace humans, but that one day, humans will willingly surrender their capacity to think, create, and feel, just to exchange it for convenience. Perhaps the saddest thing is that humans are gradually living more like machines. We wake up, check our phones, consume content, compare ourselves to others, optimize ourselves, work continuously, chase endless dopamine, and then repeat it all the next day. Many people today are merely reacting, chasing, and trying desperately not to be left behind. But the paradox is that the most meaningful things in life usually require time, struggle, patience, real mistakes, and genuine experience. A relationship needs time to mature. A skill requires years to master. A human being needs suffering to grow emotionally. Yet modern society is rapidly stripping humans of the ability to endure that very process, creating a profound psychological split between generations. For the elderly, the most painful part of this era is not necessarily that they don't know how to use technology. It is the gut-wrenching feeling that this world is no longer built for them. They once lived in an era where life experience held immense value, where working hard was enough, and where a skill could be used stably for decades. But now, as everything is digitized and automated, they are starting to feel left behind, useless, and as though they no longer belong to this time. Meanwhile, the younger generation is living at the exact opposite extreme. They adapt much faster, but they are also more exhausted than ever before. They live in a world where everyone must optimize themselves, where everyone must be faster, better, and more efficient. And so many young people today constantly live with the feeling that if they stop, they will simply disappear. That is why burnout, anxiety, a loss of direction, and existential crises are becoming the default state of an entire generation. Perhaps the biggest mistake right now is thinking that we have to fight against AI. The truth is, AI will not disappear. It will continue to develop and continue to weave itself into our daily lives. Therefore, completely running away from technology is no longer a realistic option. But that doesn't mean humans have to turn themselves into machines to survive. AI should be a tool to support thinking, not a total replacement for thought. If we let AI think and live for us, over time we will lose our capacity for deep thought, genuine curiosity, independent mindsets, and the ability to solve our own problems. The future will belong to those who know how to use AI but do not depend on it. Those who know how to accelerate through technology while still maintaining their human depth. They do not let AI live their lives. They only use AI to buy more time to live more truthfully. Cole represents this fragile balance. Look at him now. He stands quietly on a crowded city sidewalk in the middle of a bright, suffocating day, surrounded by hundreds of people walking fast, staring at screens, and trying frantically to keep up with the rhythm of the modern world. Cole uses these advanced tools every day, yet he chooses to stand still for a moment, simply watching the world breathe. He realizes that one day, AI might do almost everything better, faster, smarter, and more efficiently than humans. But if by that time, humans no longer know how to think independently, how to love truly, how to feel real pain, how to connect genuinely, and how to perceive the meaning of existence, then the first thing to disappear from this world will not be jobs. It will be humanity itself. In the future, the rarest resource will no longer be intelligence. It will be the humans who still know how to sit quietly without needing constant stimulation, who know how to feel a real conversation, who know how to love someone wholeheartedly, who know how to slow down in a world obsessed with speed, and who manage to keep their souls alive in an era that feels increasingly mechanical. Because in the end, AI can process endless data, but it has never gazed at a sunset and felt a wave of peace. It has never missed someone to the point of sleeplessness, held someone tightly when they were suffering, or felt the profound meaning of simply being alive. And perhaps that is the very last thing that keeps humans humans. The machine can replicate the answer, but it can never experience the life.